Hello everyone, welcome back to more ABI-DOS. I don't really remember what happened yesterday. I assume Unwinder is one of the puzzles we did. Did we do any others yesterday? I don't know. Let's move on to Alternator. This program mixes two signals by interweaving their content while preserving it. Read signals from 0 through 2. While S0 is greater than 30, so 0 is the control signal. We send 1 to 5 and 2 to 6. But if it's 30 or less, one to 6 and 2 to 5, but okay, so interesting. So we... we need to alternate them. So let's imagine all I had to do was alternate them, ignoring this signal completely for a moment. You would have, I suppose, a structure like this with a conveyor like this, defaulting to off, and we'd have some sensor, you know, who knows what it would sense. Let's just be generic and say A. And if it was, oops, there we go. So I guess it looks something like this, right? With this structure, you can't handle a throughput of 1 bit per tick because you don't have a uniform distance to travel. If we, right, like, if we had a bit going da-da-da, and then on the next tick, a bit going da-da, they would meet here and get added together, which is undesirable. I guess actually this isn't quite right. We would need this to make sure that it turns the right way, but that's the general idea. So you could do this with a throughput of 1 bit per 2 ticks. But there must be actually, I was going to say there must be a way to do it with a 1 where, like, you have a uniform distance travel whichever of these you're going to, right? Like, I mean, not sure how that would look. I don't know. This just makes it worse, right? No, it doesn't. Maybe it does. Yeah. I guess what you would have to do is get these separated somehow. So this just makes it worse. Well... Now they can't really cross over each other. I don't know. This seems like doing it in one tick would be hard. I guess let's leave it at that. But if you were willing to spend 2 ticks per bit, the original approach should work, right? By the way, how much space do I have? A lot. If this is all I need for the core, I probably could fit the control circuit in the rest of the space. Maybe? But well, I mean, even 1 bit per 2 ticks, it's sort of unclear how to do the control bit. The control, not bit in the technical sense as in a U-bit, but the bit of the program that is about control, the part of it. You have to every 2 ticks. Well, let me read this again. So, like, maybe I need to pay more attention to this. So S0, when it becomes low, I don't know, it's a little harder to understand. What I want to know is whether, like, while S0 is low, we kind of have some state that is alternating back and forth, right? And my question is, after it next becomes low, like, it goes back to high and then we ignore the state for a while. When it next goes low, I think we start over, sending 1 to 6 and 2 to 5. But the problem statement is not super clear about that. It could be the case that we should pick up where we left off and first route 1 to 5. That's what I want to find out. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So here, we've gone through an odd number of ticks with S0 being low. And so my question is, next time we start, are we sending 1 to 6, as in the start of a new thing, or 2 to 5, or 1 to 5? So 1 here is 21. And 21 is going to 6 in this tick. So we are indeed starting over. So I imagined like having a port that spawns an extra control bit that like goes back and forth through a negator and an input requester. Which would look something like this. And I guess we'd end up needing another one so that it would never go back up. But in this way, every other tick it would toggle and request an input, something like this. I don't think we need the input requester though. We could have another control circuit somewhere else that's requesting input every 2 ticks. What we do need though is a sensor that checks, is it 0? We negated every... Well, this doesn't really make a ton of sense, does it? Because it would, like... Since we would never write anything to it, it would always be 1 here and 0 here, or whatever. So we need some way to interrupt this, like... Well, actually, what if we didn't just have one control U-bit floating around that's the current state? What if every time we get a low signal for the first time, we spawn a new control bit? Wouldn't that be interesting? Because then when we were done, we could just throw it away. And when we went low again, we could just request a new one and it would be in the right state. I see a few problems with this. One is, we kind of would then have to detect when a low bit is new. Like when we're entering a transition from high to low, and that's not so easy. The other is, if I'm sometimes leaking something out of here, it means I need a conveyor somewhere that I can control to change where this thing goes. And so I can't even manage 1 bit per 2 ticks, because I would have a longer loop to travel. Maybe per 4 ticks. If we drew a loop like this with a conveyor to take it away. So that would look something like... port going here. Maybe a sensor right away. Oops. A conveyor at its first chance to turn. Heading into a recycler. A negator. Is that what that's called? Yeah. Right? Like, that doesn't seem so bad. Did that, it would all fit, which would be nice. The problem is I still don't have an easy way to detect when we go from high to low. We could easily enough have oh, you know, I think we might need a little bit more, right? We need like... Oh, this doesn't fit because, of course, these are off limits. All right, whatever. So I don't think we want these spewing bits right away. We need a minute to see whether we're high or low, and then, you know, right? Like... So we need one of these. The very first thing we would do, I suppose, is detect if it's greater than 30. Yeah. If so, we should launch these guys, right? Like so. Oh no, that's not how this works. These aren't ports. Well, they are. But they're not, they're inputs, they're not synthetic ports. So I need to request from 1 and 2 at that point. And send a signal. Don't send a signal here. Yeah. This is pretty messy. Well, I guess the good news is we actually do want inputs from all 3 ports if we detect the numbers greater than 30, because we're just going to do nothing, right? So we could put that in. And if the number is greater than 30, we additionally want to turn this conveyor on. Problem is, I can't actually request the input yet, right? Because I said I want a loop length of 4. So I need to make sure that this thing has gotten out. Or maybe I don't, maybe it's fine. Because I said you can't have a throughput of 1 bit per 2 ticks. Or per 1 tick, even. Because things would cross. But that's only true during state transitions, right? If, when we detected that we're switching... Like, during the steady state, while S0 is high, we actually could have a throughput of 1 per tick. We would need to slow down when S became low and when it transitioned back to being high. And then after that, back in the steady state, we could go fast again. We don't need a uniform tick. That's fancy stuff, I guess. Uniform cycle length, whatever. So I can't actually just send this here even still, because I need a way to say, yeah, if it's greater than 30, just go ahead and do that. But I guess I might as well use blue. If it's... Yeah, if it's greater than 30, turn off this conveyor, go get a new input, and recycle yourself. But if it's less than 30, then we have some work to do, eh? And the problem is I still don't really know what to do if it's less than 30. I've just written the easy part of the program because it was something to do, but I still don't have a solution to the actual problem. Because I can't just blithely request a new input here. We might already have one floating around. Is there some way instead of using a negator that I should be adding together U-bits? I don't think so. This is a definer. I wanted an equal sensor. I suppose one thing is maybe we don't actually... Okay. I talked about, at first, just having one bit going around and around forever. And then I said, oh, wouldn't it be cute if we had multiple bits? We just got a new one every time. But Nah. You can't, like, turn definers on and off. Because I had this idea. What if I put a definer here, setting it to 0, but it was only conditionally enabled when S0 is high? Then we could, like, restart, right? We could reuse the same bit we already had. But you can't do that. Well, I mean, I could just I could just release a new 0 U-bit, and you might, like, I don't know. Yeah, here's a thought. If I released a new 0, timed to arrive here at the same time as one that's circling around, if there is one, then they would just fold together and merge, right? The new U-bit would only start, like, doing something, becoming a 1, if there wasn't already something in here. Okay. That's cool. So actually, how do I want a port Y, right? That only outputs something when asked. It doesn't spawn one initially. So if I get a number that's greater than 30, it's greater than, not greater than or equal, yeah, if it's greater than 30, I flush out any bit that's hanging out here. And just ask for a new bit. I think I am gonna have to keep the cycle length at 4 to keep things synced up. Probably. Actually, so this guy is triggered on a signal? Yeah. So maybe I don't need this conveyor after all. If I just, when this is greater than 30, I flush this. And if it's less than 31, I send out a new bit. So we'll send out a new bit. This will be... What's controlling this? This will be off because this didn't trigger. So we'll go... get here while we have a bit here. Here while we request. Yeah, that looks okay. And exactly 4 ticks after we got here, we'll be requesting a new input, right? So it should match up with the periodicity, I think. And I think this actually, like, if I were more careful with my wiring, this uses up exactly the amount of space that this is asking me to. I would have to reorient things to fit it all properly, because there's no rotate button in this stupid game. Oh, I never looked at this. You can make a U-bit into like a ghost. Have it skip at the next X icons somehow. I assume that's what disabling and reactivating means. Maybe it doesn't even add to other ones? I don't know. Weird. Huh. Okay. So what does this do? Is this close to correct? So we get a 41, that's large. So we should spawn inputs here, turn these conveyors off so they just go straight through to where their normal output is. And this should turn on, flushing out any bit if there were any in there. Yep, looking good. We didn't spawn anything. Then we request an input. I guess I want a little gap in between when I launch a new bit. Okay, let's actually do this. You're gonna have to change the wiring as well, of course. What a mess. Okay, so I want this to control here, and this. This... Oh, I had it passing through these before, and that was wrong, because it shouldn't have controlled them. I'm gonna end up putting wires outside of the controlled area if I do it this way. Okay, maybe I don't have to do this. So, can I get away with no space at all there? It seems like I have to make this work. Who's controlling this? It should be you, right? Yeah, so I can just do... this. What are you doing here? You shouldn't be there. What should this control? Yeah, wait a minute. What does equal 0 even do here? It's another way. It's a way to override this and turn these on or off, I guess. So it goes like that. Okay, I don't... Okay. So if this bit is 0, meaning it's our first... Okay, this actually should be then equals 1, I guess. If this is 1, meaning it's we've been through this loop, like, already once, we should then turn these back off and route them into their normal positions. Route them to go straight. But the first time we send a bit, this will be 0, and this won't trigger. So these will remain on, which is what this did. I'm not sure my latencies are all right, or indeed anything about this program, but hang on. Are these still facing the wrong? These are the wrong ones. I meant to switch them back when I redid the wiring, but I didn't. So greater than 30, we should turn these off. Right, I needed a little gap here so that this conveyor position had time to do something before I reset it again by landing on the sensor again. Okay, so let's stop and like put a breakpoint here, please. So everything up to that point should be fine. This 50 should, of course, still be normal. Now we get our 19, our first time doing something weird. We should flip these and turn this on. Off, rather. And then we request a new bit in here. This 0 says, great, we need these to actually... Oh! I just realized something funny, of course. These conveyors are going to just start bouncing the U-bits up and down, back and forth. They're not going to just get to the other end and turn, unless I can really carefully, and I bet I can, actually, make sure that they're always off for the tick after this. Okay, hang on, what happened? That looked bad. So 23 and 38, they swap, that's all good. Now the problem is, and I actually don't even know if it's a problem. Right now, if I hit, they're going to swap with each other again, and I don't want that. But I think I can put a sensor here that always turns these on. Or off. So go into state B, please, if there's a bit here. So let's use some blue wire to hook that up. Oh, no, that was right. That was right. Stop. Now these are the bits associated with 19 about to come out. They swap. But this 17... Well, no, hang on. That looked right. OE8, OE20. So this should be sending them into state B, i.e. turning them off, right? Why wouldn't it? Oh, because at the same time, this is turning them into state A? Yes, I see. This is OE12, so it's going to come after this. So... And I can't swap the positions of these two. Can I? I thought before that I couldn't. I don't think it's so easy. Now, what if I took this whole thing and mirrored it horizontally? That would fix this problem of not fitting into the constrained space. And it might also fix the signal problem, because... I don't know, is there like a... Yeah. There's this manual. You guys can't see it. And I'm not going to bother showing you. But if I scroll... Order of execution. U-bits collide. Multiple icons with the same OE are triggered simultaneously. They do so from top to bottom and left to right. But it's not very clear about what top to bottom and left to right means. I think it means actually like the leftmost... Oh, there's a diagram somewhere, wasn't there? Maybe in-game on one of the other levels? Yeah, it's impossible to see in this booklet. Where on earth would it have been? I don't know. We'll just look at all of these real quick. No. 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 Was it really that far back? I don't think so. Aha! Triggered from top to bottom and left to right. Yeah, okay. And then there's this diagram. Only icon in the lowest row and the rightmost column will take effect. So actually higher numbers in this chart win. Which means I'm already oriented correctly. I just need to have an OE tie, which I can certainly do. By, instead of using a universal B, I can say if you get a value less than 20, which every value that goes through here will be. My breakpoint is gone. Okay. So now these should be off, because this is trying to turn the conveyors off. No, on. Making them switch. Well, this is going to say, no, 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 they need to stay off so that the bits that are here can be routed to the output. Yes. And now we have a 1 and a 0 here, but they just merge into the one that was already there. Oh, it's so cute! And we're doing it, right? We're producing the right outputs. Now what happens when we get a large number again? That's what I want to know. Here we go. Yeah, now we might have a problem. Actually, wait, it looked okay? Right! Because this is only forcing these to be off on the tick after they would have been routed through each other. So if the thing that would route them through each other didn't happen, when this forces them off, it won't matter. There's nothing there. Okay, okay, okay. So let's look at this transition again. So we've got a big number coming. These two are about to go out there from like the previous tick, so that's fine. Now I say, oh, would you look at that? This number is big, so these should be turned off. And furthermore, this should be ejected. So these sail right through here. And actually, this doesn't even get to here. It gets thrown away before it has a chance to meddle. Okay. Errors happened, huh? Why is the cycle count still going up when nothing is happening? I don't understand that. Take away my breakpoint. Go. So errors happened here. When we transition back to a high input after an even number of low inputs, we have a problem. I see. Oops. So let's examine that. So those numbers went out fine. Those were as intended. These three numbers all go together. We're getting a high number. Oh yeah, this is obviously wrong. Yeah, so this is why I felt like this needed to be a little bit more to the left. Because it's not fast enough to flip these. Okay, sure. Now the problem is, doing that messes up the timing of this stuff, yeah? But I think everything in this loop I could reorient if I wanted. like I could phase shift it. Because this definitely has to be, like, here. And I don't think... Well, let's put my breakpoint back here. I don't think everything is still working yet. Yeah, these just start like swapping back and forth. Can I have this control this as well? Maybe that would just be fine. Yeah, maybe I don't need this part at all. Because if this let the bits slide through, there won't be anything here when this tries to control them. And if this didn't let the bits slide through, i.e. it turned these on, I need this to turn them off, which it will always do, right? Because it's guaranteed to produce the opposite result that this did. So 19 says swap them, and then let them continue coasting to their goal. Great. And then we've got one of these guys going around. Okay, we just have to be a little more careful with the wiring of this red wire. The problem is that now both of these are also controlling this, which I don't want. So I think I need something more like this, where we use the red wire from the less than to spawn a bit, and the blue wire to turn these off. And we're also using a blue wire from here to turn these off, but now there's no crossed wire where this controls this accidentally. Okay, but now this is sort of out of sync. I need the tester here. So I need it to be happening at the same time that this is happening. And that's apparently while this bit is here. So put the tester there and wire it up. Oh, although I think now it should be testing equals 0, because it's been through, yeah, a different number of toggles. Here we go. So now we've already flipped. Oh, this is back? This is wrong? Okay, hang on. So 19, we have something less than 30. So 1 should go to 6, meaning these should flip, right? We've just read in 21 and 38. Am I... Am I off by 1 somewhere? I don't think so. It looks like I might actually be. Hang on. Oh. Because I had these be semi-active, they don't produce anything on the first tick, because I thought this was going to be more of a control-only circuit. But actually, it's not. I can have these be active, and I'll be totally fine. Right? Because we are ready, the very first tick, to decide where they should go. Great. Now, our 19 says swap them. This says now let them carry on. These are right. And now this 17 is trying to swap them, but there's a 0 here that should override it and say, no, 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 we already did the swapping. Let this 12 go to 5 as normal, right? Doesn't work. Why not? So this is the state I want to understand. This greater than 30, it should be sending a go to state A. But this says, actually, because it's equal to 0, you should go to state B, and this one should go last, and therefore win, according to my understanding of that table we saw. So they should go to state B, which is off. But they don't. Which one was it that I saw this on? Para or something? Yeah. Only the icon located in the lowest row and the rightmost column. So anything in a column further to the right beats things in a column further to the left, irrespective of their height. So... Oops, wrong puzzle. This one, the one I was working on. This should win and say, yep, there's a 0 here. So, please turn these conveyors off. It's not the case now, because there's nothing up there. So this conveyor will win, and they'll swap. You know what? This isn't gonna work for when they... When we transition back to being high, we won't yet have turned this conveyor on, and so we'll still have something here overriding whether these swap. It will ignore what this says. That's a problem. But I don't understand here. I have two less thans, which of course both have the same OE. The one further to the right should win. Well, okay, hang on. What things are currently trying to control these? Let's look at that to be sure I'm not confused. There's a U-bit here sending a signal on it's on an equality tester, so it's sending a signal through this blue wire over here. And this red wire is also sending a signal. But the blue one should win, because it's further to the right. And it is detecting a 0. So it should say go to state B. State B for these is inactive, so they should let the bit through. But they don't. They get swapped. I don't know why. They're just all getting swapped. Yeah. And I imagine here we're gonna have another problem, right? No. Oh, right. Because this is always winning. This part isn't even doing anything. But if I fix this problem, then I'd have issues here. Well, the thing is, I've been playing this for a while, and I don't think I'm about to get a solution, so I'm kind of inclined to take a break. It's a little... when you play a new puzzle/programming game, you start getting to the point where you can't do something in an episode every time. And I don't like that. I would like to be able to have a finished thing. But since I don't edit these videos... try to provide the true gameplay experience and not a highlight reel. That is kind of the gameplay experience. It is truthful. I don't know what I'm missing though. Why isn't this one winning? You told me this would win. Oh wait, do these have different... This isn't equal to... I don't even have the thing that's supposed to override this. Oh my god. Okay. It got cut out when I was moving stuff, I guess. Right, because I had like a universal sensor or a less than 20 or something that was supposed to always let them go through. Although I don't need that, right? Because of this? So I need this to be instant for the like first tick. But if there's something up here, I don't want this to be able to override this all the time. I only want it to be able to override it when it's saying go to state B, i.e. turn these off. I might want to turn them on anyway. No, wait, hang on. If this is sending high, I want to, regardless of what this says, have this off. Have them just pass through harmlessly. If this is saying low, sending them to state B, saying no, sending them to state A, i.e. swap them, I want this to be able to override and send them to state B anyway. But only if B is the right state. If this is saying A, I don't want it to win. Is there some way to accomplish that? I don't know. I don't think so. Needs further thought, I guess. I guess I'm done for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.